What is up, college football fans and fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos, and welcome to another edition of Coos' Corner, your go-to channel for college sports with a heavy dose of West Virginia Mountaineers. Before I review yesterday's West Virginia-Oklahoma State game, I ask that you please hit that red subscribe button for me. Please give me the thumbs up if you like this video. And don't forget to share this with your friends and tell them about Coos' Corner. Help me reach my goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Now, let's get on with the show. How do you spell disaster? W-V-U-O-F-F-E-N-S-E. Disaster. Yes, that's right. West Virginia's offense yesterday was a disaster. And I witnessed it in person. Went to the game yesterday, kind of a last-minute decision. Took my father-in-law with me. It was his first ever West Virginia football game, and man, was it a bad one to pick. I have never seen such a bad offensive performance other than the first half of the Texas Tech game of this same season, which I happen to be at as well. So apparently I'm going to have to stop going to games, because when I do, it doesn't turn out well. And also, when they retire numbers at games, it doesn't turn out well. Darryl Talley's number retirement was at the Texas Tech game, and yesterday was Major Harris's. I don't know if you're superstitious or not. I'm usually not, but man, I'm starting to wonder. Is there some kind of curse or something? But anyway, all joking aside, obviously none of that has anything to do with it. But yesterday's offense was just absolutely atrocious. But I want to give credit where credit is due. I was sitting in the stands watching that game yesterday, and I told my father-in-law, I said, Oklahoma State might be the most fundamentally sound football team I've ever watched, at least in person. They weren't missing tackles. They were covering every receiver on almost every play. I mean, they get off blocks. I mean, it didn't look like they made a mistake. I'll be honest with you, defensively especially. I mean, they played. It looked on. I don't know if West Virginia's deep offense was just that bad or Oklahoma State's defense was just almost flawless. But they looked really, really good. Mike Gundy's got that team playing phenomenal football right now, especially on the defensive side. And offensively, look, I watched Jalen Warren, the running back for Oklahoma State, absolutely run over a West Virginia defensive lineman. I don't remember which lineman it was. I think it was number 95. I think it's either Jordan Jefferson or Jalen Thornton. I'm not sure which one. But, man, he absolutely ran over him. Literally, knocked him on his butt. I mean, that guy is an absolute tank. Great running back. I mean, he might be the most underrated running back in the nation. I mean, he's great. Really good. I mean, almost impossible to bring down and make him lose yardage. I mean, the guy goes forward just every single time. I mean, as good as West Virginia had been tackling, he made their tackling look really bad yesterday. I mean, he just was running through every single tackle. The only way you tackle that guy is with multiple people. I mean, that's just it. Spencer Sanders didn't look great yesterday throwing the ball, but he ran the ball well, picked up several first downs with his feet. West Virginia's defense actually didn't play bad yesterday. West Virginia's defense played good enough to win yesterday. I mean, they held Jalen under 100 yards rushing. But the offense just could not get anything going. Jarrett Doege was sacked. I think it ended up being either 8 or 9 times yesterday. I think the final number I heard on ESPN was 8. I mean, the guy, on a couple times, it looked like by the time the ball got back to him, there were already defensive linemen in the backfield by the time he could even look up. Now, he's not totally blameless. There were a few times where he had a couple seconds and didn't find his receivers in time. When you're playing a team like Oklahoma State, you have got to get the ball out of your hands quick. And Jarrett didn't do that yesterday for whatever reason. I don't know if he was worried about throwing an interception. I don't know if he was rattled from all the pressure maybe. He is human after all, so I'm sure that happens. But he's not totally blameless. He missed a lot of reads, but our offensive line just had a really, really bad day. Oklahoma State's defensive line has a lot to do with that. They were really good. They're really experienced. I think they've got all seniors up front. If not, I think they might have one junior, but they're all upperclassmen. And we all know West Virginia's offensive line has a lot of inexperience, up there. So they really struggled yesterday. Oklahoma State did a great job of exploiting West Virginia's weaknesses. And, Neil Brown, look, I'm a Neil Brown supporter, and all this fire Neil Brown crap on Facebook is absolutely infuriating. It's dumb. I wish you fans would please stop with that nonsense. But he did not coach his best game yesterday, in my opinion. I will say that. He made a comment in his post-game press conference that kind of concerned me. He said that they were not prepared for Oklahoma State to play so much man on the receiver, on West Virginia's receivers, because they had not been doing that all year. And he said he thinks they may have done it because of the success they had against them in the past. Shouldn't you know that as a head coach, that they might play man against us because they've had success in the past? I don't know. I'm not a football coach. I'm just asking. Maybe that's something they should have prepared for. Maybe our receivers aren't running great routes. I don't know the answer. These are all open-ended questions here. But our receivers could not get open yesterday very, very well. I mean, really, the best pass plays, we had a few nice screens that went for yardage. That was really about it. I mean, we just couldn't hit anything down the field. Nothing was open. But, so, struggled. I mean, there was just no part of our offense yesterday that did not struggle. Quarterback struggled, running back struggled, offensive line, receivers, everybody struggled. Like I said, defensively, I thought they did enough to win the game, and we held Oklahoma State to 24 points. And most of that was because of short field. I mean, almost every touchdown Oklahoma State scored, if not every touchdown, was because of a short field, either due to a muff punt, an interception, a fumble, a punt where they pinned us deep and we couldn't get anything going and had to punt it back to them, and then we couldn't pin them deep. They ended up getting the ball midfield. It just, all day long, we were, our offense was playing with us back against our own end zone. Garrett Green come in. He fumbled the ball twice. Once was actual fumble. Credit Tony Mathis for being able to jump on the ball to save a touch scoop and score there. But he fumbled again later in the game, but his arm was down before it came out. The ball did come out, though, but it didn't count because his arm was already down. But, Green's got a little bit of fumbleitis, it looks like. He's, apparently still not able to read the defense well enough to be put in over Doege. And, I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is they've got 3 games left. We still have something to play for. There's still a bowl game within reach for this team. There's 3 games. They need to win 2 of the 3. And all 3 games are winnable, in my opinion. If West Virginia plays the way they're capable of playing, like we've seen them play the 2 weeks prior to this one, they can beat all 3 of these teams. Kansas State's not going to be easy. Skylar Thompson's back now, and they look like a totally different team with him at quarterback. So it's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. They're going to have to come ready to play. But look, I'm not saying Coach Brown doesn't need to be fired. I don't think Jarrett Doege needs to be benched because I don't know that we have a better option. But I'll tell you what I would like to see. We're down to our last 3 games of the season. Goose Crowder has played in 1 game so far. That was the Long Island game back early in the year. A player can play in 4 games and still keep their red shirt. I would like to see Goose Crowder get a chance. Now, I'm not saying start him, but at some point I'd like to see him get a chance and see if he can play quarterback for West Virginia. Start looking at, I'm not saying don't try to win the games, but if there's an opportunity to get Goose Crowder in the game without giving up the game, then I say do it. Because West Virginia needs a plan for the future of the quarterback position. Because I personally don't think Jarrett Doege's that guy for the future. Now, look, I'm not blaming the game on him. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. But I just think next year they need to move on from him. And I think Goose Crowder deserves a legit chance. We've seen what Green can do, which is basically run. They need to see now what Crowder can do. Give Crowder a chance. He can still keep his red shirt. And maybe next year it comes down to Goose Crowder, Nico Marchio, and of course give Garrett another chance. I don't know. I really don't know what else to say. Not a lot to say. It was just terrible all the way around. Special teams was not good yesterday other than Casey Legg making his kick. Sumter had a couple good punts where he's able to pin them deep, but his punting on the day overall was not great by any stretch. Obviously, had the muff punt there. There again, injuries hurt us. Isaiah Esdale has been our dependable punt returner. He was out for the game with an injury. Had to bring in a guy who had very little experience doing that, and it hurt us. So I just don't. I don't know what the answer is. I'm glad I'm not the one trying to fix it. I'll be honest, because it doesn't look good right now for West Virginia on the offensive side. I'm not sure what happened between Iowa State and Oklahoma State. Is Oklahoma State's defense that much better? Did they just game plan better? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I think a lot of it yesterday. I'll be honest. I think Oklahoma State came in with a much better game plan than West Virginia did. I mean, Coach Brown said after the game that it was not a good matchup for West Virginia. He knew that going in. So, there was where Oklahoma State was the strongest, West Virginia was the weakest. And I guess they just weren't able to game plan around it for whatever reason. So I think it's chalked up. I think we got out coached yesterday. But, obviously Mike Gundy's a very experienced coach at this level. So that's not really that shocking. He's a really good coach. And obviously I got outplayed, especially on the offensive side. I don't really know what the answer is. Let's just hope that the team that showed up last week against Iowa State is the one that shows up next week against Kansas State, because they may not win. They may not win another game this year playing offense like that. Well, they won't. They won't. West Virginia won't win another game this year playing offense like they did yesterday. Now, are any of the defenses we're going to face as good as Oklahoma State? No, but they've still got to play better. They got to shake this off, get it out of their mind, get it behind them, and move on. Because if they let this linger, it can snowball really quick. So anyway, look, that's all I got to say. Let me know what you think about the video. Give me the thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Remember to please subscribe. If you're new to YouTube, all subscribing does is make sure when you log in your YouTube account, it will put this videos you're subscribed to at the top so you can click on them. And also it shows support for me as a creator to help get my channel promoted. The more likes, the more subscriptions I get, the more my channel gets promoted on YouTube. That's how YouTube works. And also comment. Leave comments leave comments under the video. Let me know what you thought about the game, what you thought the issues were. I appreciate you tuning in to Kuz's Corner. Until next time.